All right, my friends, bad news. The assault weapon ban in Illinois passed. That's kind of expected. We definitely did expect the assault weapon ban to pass. I just watched the governor's press release and I wanted to vomit in my mouth. He was thanking the hundreds of advocates who pushed for the assault weapon ban in Illinois, forgetting the thousands of us who were pushing back against it. And then the Senator Harmon, he was saying how they had multiple gatherings on the rotunda of the state capitol with hundreds of advocates, and we've had dozens of meetings on the rotunda with thousands of advocates. So I want to throw that out there before we get into the assault weapons ban. This is what passed today, 111 pages of trash. But we're going to go through that and explain to you exactly everything that you need to know. I want you to understand a few things, that the lawmaking process is very, very fluid. And as we watch these things evolve and we see that there's multiple amendments and each amendment is different and there's many different people putting out awesome videos, but then those videos basically expire when a new amendment is released. So I want to go through everything. I want to explain what actually passed, what you need to know. And let's start right here. Don't freak out yet. Don't go having those tragic boating accidents just yet. Don't go throwing anything away. Don't go selling anything for a loss yet. Yes, the bill has been signed exactly 8:28 p.m. I just closed the laptop right as the governor signed it. It's 8:29. I pressed record and we're going to jump into this. So the law is in effect. There are multiple effective dates in the law. I'm going to explain all of that, what all of that means to you. I've got a little cheat sheet right here. It's about 5 pages long. So I took 111 pages of nonsense. I boiled it down to 5 pages of what you need to know. So again, today at 2:35, the Illinois House passed the bill. The Senate passed that bill yesterday, and then today at 8:28 p.m., Governor Pritzker signed that bill. The bill is called, the Protect Illinois Communities Act. It is essentially what many have referred to as a so-called assault weapons ban. It's going to ban numerous items. It's going to ban many semi-automatic rifles. It's going to ban many in fact, semi-automatic pistols. So we're going to talk about that. It's going to ban cosmetic features. It's going to ban certain accessories. So we're going to go through all of that. Before we do, I want to point something out. Senator Harmon on the Senate floor said twice that this bill is not going to stop crime. And the question I have, Senator Harmon, on January 9th, why would you say twice that this bill is not going to stop crime? Why would we pass a bill that's not going to do anything? Perhaps it's not about stopping crime. Perhaps it has a different meaning. And in fact, in Pritzker's press conference just a few minutes ago, he even said that his exact words, I believe, were that it's not the end, and that he pledges to fight more against so-called gun violence. If you know anything about me, you know that gun violence does not exist, because violence does not live in the chamber of a firearm, nor does it live on the blade of a knife. Violence lives within the heart of mankind, and in the absence of one tool to commit evil, evil people shall simply choose another tool, as we see in places like London, where they are using knives and even spraying people in the face with acid. So let's jump into this bill. Let's talk about a few things. First, let's kind of lay the ground rules, not ground rules so to speak, but let's actually kind of sort of do a table of contents, what this video is going to be about. We're going to talk about specifically what is actually banned. Okay, semi-automatic pistols, semi-automatic rifles, 50 caliber, etc. So, but obviously with law, words matter, and we're going to get into the details of it. Like I said, I know it's confusing if you've seen previous versions. We're talking specifically about House Bill 5471, Senate Floor Amendments 3, 4, and 5. That is what was voted. That is what was signed. Anything else is not law. Senate Bill 5471, Amendments 3, 4, and 5. All right. So again, it does have an immediate effective date. What do I mean? As of right now, it is law. The governor has signed it. It has an immediate effective date. That means at this very moment, there can be no new sales within Illinois of any of the banned items that we're going to discuss. The law does say that if you had a background check initiated before the law takes effect, which means 8:28 p.m. today, if you had a background check before the law takes effect, that you could receive your firearm, because we know in Illinois there is a 3-day waiting period, minimum 3-day waiting period, to take possession of your firearm. So that goes into effect immediately. There are other additional effective dates that we need to talk about, because there's a lot to this bill. It's not just an assault weapon ban. There's a lot to it. The Illinois State Police has been given both rulemaking authority, administrative rulemaking authority, and that is not uncommon. They have also been given emergency rulemaking authority, and in my experience following these bills for the last dozen years, various different laws as they take effect, emergency rulemaking authority is kind of carte blanche for them to do whatever they want, and they have 1 year from the time the bill takes effect for these emergency rules. So again, we'll be looking at emergency rules. The Illinois State Police are going to be allowed to basically rewrite the law. They'll have to go through the JCAR process, but like I said, the emergency rules generally, in my experience, just sail right through. There's not much we can do to stop it. The permanent administrative rules, there's more. There's a process, that input from the citizens, etc. So again, their emergency rule period of time is 1 year from now. All right. We also have universal background checks. As you may remember, when the FOID Modernization Act passed, that included the universal background checks. That passed in August of 2021, and the universal background checks were supposed to go into effect January 1st, 2024. This bill is going to cut that down, and now universal background checks will be going into effect July 1st, 2023. So that means just a few months from now. They're basically taking 6 months off of the law. You know, it's why they need these extra 6 months. It is what it is. But as far as that goes, universal background checks will be in effect July 1st, 2023. We'll talk more about that. The immediate sale of 50 BMG ammunition, 50 caliber centerfire rifles, assault weapons, which we will get into what their definition of an assault weapon is, are banned as of this moment. So no new sales of those items. As of January 1st, 2024, there will be a registration, and any of these items that are banned, that are not registered, will be illegal at that point in time. So there is some, let's call it a grace period from now until January 1st, 2024 to possess these banned items if you own them already. All right, we also have 90 days after the governor signs the bill, 90 days from today, the governor signs the bill, then there's going to be, and we're going to talk about this, there's going to be specific locations where you can possess these banned items. So you can't have them everywhere, you can only have them in specific locations, all right? So now that we know the effective dates, let's jump into a little bit more. Let's talk about some of the definitions and details of what's going on with this bill. All right, so let's start here. What's actually banned in this bill? This is going to be the bulk of the video, okay? There's been a lot of questions I've seen on social media, a lot of misinformation. Primarily that misinformation is based upon the previous amendments and the previous versions. This is like I said, it's Amendment 3. There was other bills. This is probably like the third variation for the assault weapons ban. So let's look at what actually passed. This is going to ban nearly every semi-automatic rifle. Not all, but almost all. It is also going to ban many semi-automatic pistols. Now, again, there's the grace period. There's going to be registration, grandfathering. We'll talk about that as this video goes on. But these items have been banned. The law specifically reads, I'll read it to you, a semi-automatic rifle that has the capacity to accept a detachable magazine or that may be readily modified to accept a detachable magazine. And then also it says a semi-automatic pistol that has the capacity to accept a detachable magazine or that may be readily modified to accept a detachable magazine. And that is nearly all semi-automatic firearms. Now, in the law, it talks about the capacity. It says if the firearm is capable of receiving, if it's a handgun, a 15-round or greater magazine, if it has some specific cosmetic features that I'm going to discuss. Also, the law talks about a semi-automatic rifle if it has the capability of receiving a 10-round magazine, again, if it has certain cosmetic features that, again, I'll discuss. All right? So let's talk about some of those cosmetic features. Also, at the end of this video, because it's very, very long, I'm going to give you the names of all of the banned firearms. They banned firearms both on cosmetic feature as well as names. So I'm going to give you the names of all those banned firearms at the very, very end of the video. But the cosmetic features enough are pretty sweeping. So let's start there. All right, so if the rifle has one or more of the following: a pistol grip, a thumb hole stock, anything that can be considered a forward grip or forward hand stock. Some of this I am paraphrasing. I'll put a link to the actual law so that you can read it yourself. So anything that has a forward grip, or a rifle that has a forward grip or a forward hand stop, a folding stock, a telescopic stock, a detachable stock, adjustable stocks, or any stock that reduces the length of the rifle. Flash suppressors, grenade launchers, barrel shrouds, and any semi-automatic rifle that has an internal fixed magazine, meaning the magazine doesn't remove like a bullet button or something like that, that can exceed 10 rounds. So if it has a fixed magazine and it can exceed 10 rounds, then that too would be banned. There are some exclusions, of course, and we'll get to the exclusions later on, but just one of the exclusions for rifles is if it's a 22 long rifle with a tubular magazine, that would be excluded from the ban. All right, so let's talk about pistols. If the pistol has one or more of any of the following cosmetic features, again, paraphrasing: a threaded barrel, I'm talking to you, Tommy, a secondary pistol grip, so something, a forward pistol grip of some kind, a barrel shroud, not including slides, a flash suppressor, a secondary magazine, a buffer tube or an arm brace, and any semi-automatic pistol that has a fixed internal magazine that can exceed 15 rounds. I'm sorry, yes, 15 rounds for pistol, 10 rounds for rifle. So they're really going after things like the AR pistol, the AK pistol in this ban. That's really what they're going after. However, there are a few things in this list that makes me think that standard handguns, for example, a threaded barrel is very, very common on standard, handguns that you might carry around with you. Concealed carry, for example. I know a lot of people with threaded barrels. I know competitors that might have a flash hider. More likely a compensator. Is an average street cop going to know the difference between a flash hider and a compensator? That's something to think about. And after all, it does have a threaded barrel. Is it pinned and welded? Is it silver soldered? I don't know if those are going to be exclusions or not. It's going to take court cases to sort that out. All right, the state's also banning some shotguns. So if the shotgun has a revolving cylinder, it's banned. And also some semi-automatic shotguns. If it has a pistol grip, a thumb hole stock, any forward grip, folding stock, a grenade launcher, a fixed magazine that exceeds 5 rounds, or any detachable magazine. So again, any shotgun that is a revolver, as well as any semi-automatic shotgun that has those features. Also on the ban is in Governor Pritzker's press release, he was talking about switches being banned. So a switch, if you're not familiar, is something that will turn a firearm into fully automatic. Obviously, Pritzker hasn't read the law because he said, now these switches shall be banned. These switches have been banned. The criminal code bans machine guns, okay? People have been arrested in the city of Chicago for buying those switches off of Wish. What they really did ban with this, in my opinion, reading through it, is things like binary triggers, competition triggers, maybe even trigger jobs, replacement triggers. What it says is any part, and again I'm paraphrasing, you could read the actual law, any part or piece that increases the firearm's rate of fire, those shall be banned. I don't know about you, but I've got parts and pieces that increase the rate of fire. What competition AR-15 doesn't? Also, Any belt-fed semi-automatic firearm is now considered an assault rifle. Any 50 caliber center fire rifles, center fire 50 caliber center fire rifles, okay? Any 50 BMG ammunition. All of those things are banned. Of course, they ban things by names, the usual culprits, the AR-15, the AK-47, Uzi, Steyr, AUG, etc., etc., etc. It's a long list. I'm going to include it at the end of the video, all of those names. All right, so those things are banned. So in addition to cosmetic features, they banned many firearms by names as well. All right, we talked already about universal background checks a little bit. As I said, that the universal background checks were scheduled to go into effect January 1st, 2024. Now they are scheduled to go into effect July 1st. So they have moved that timetable forward, July 1st, 2023. In addition, it was written into the law previously, a universal background check means I've got to, if I'm going to sell you a firearm, right now there is a process for person-to-person checks. If you've taken one of our concealed carry classes, you know we cover that process pretty extensively. However, that process will go away on July 1st, and you'll have to take the firearm to a gun store, to a gun dealer who will process basically the transaction for you. They will be a middleman. Well, the law previously said that they could not charge more than $10 for that middleman fee, and that has been raised to $25. You know, you can't compromise with these anti-freedom advocates, these anti-gun advocates. You can't compromise with someone who's trying to take away your freedom, trying to restrict your liberty. You know, we see the gun groups compromising with the anti-gun politicians, and let's come up with, okay, if you give us something, we'll give you something. And here we are a year and a half later, and you gave them an inch that kicked in the door. You know, someone, it's like a bully coming at you saying, I want 20 bucks, you offer him $5. Tomorrow he's coming back for the 15. Don't ever give up an inch. All right, continuing. What happens if you have any of these existing banned items now? I'm going to reiterate, don't freak out. Again, there is the grace period. The registration of these items doesn't start until January 1st. In addition, we know that there are going to be lawsuits. 100%. I've already spoken to people in some of the gun groups. They're preparing the lawsuits. In fact, the lawsuits, they've already been written. Okay, they've just been waiting for Pritzker to put his signature on paper. So I wouldn't be surprised in the coming days if we don't see numerous lawsuits filed. What I see, I'm predicting, but I don't see any one gun group going after the entire bill. What I do see is multiple gun groups picking apart parts and pieces of this bill. So there's likely to be multiple lawsuits, and there is likely, no guarantee, but there is likely to be a temporary injunction, a temporary restraining order. Time will tell. I'm going to leave a link in the description to our website, not just to alphaconcepts.com, but actually to the exact page where I'm going to be placing updates in real time. Obviously, once I record and post a video, I can't update the video. On the website, all of those updates, I'm going to include links to the gun groups who are putting the lawsuits together. If you want to make a donation, you'll know exactly who to give that money to. So all that stuff will be updated on our website, and I'll put the link in the description. So again, don't freak out because registration doesn't occur until January 1st, 2024. We're going to talk more about registration in just a second. Also, let's talk first a little bit about exemptions, because there are some exemptions in this bill, and then we'll get back to registration. First and foremost, who is exempt? I bet you can guess, right? The law enforcement is exempt. The military is exempt. Who else is exempt? Licensed dealers, because they are still able to sell these banned items to people in other states. So licensed dealers are exempt. Gunsmiths are exempt because you're going to be allowed to keep your banned items if you register them. We're going to talk more about that. You'll be allowed to keep your items if you register them, and if they need repair or something like that, you'll be able to take it to a dealer or a gunsmith for repair. Let's talk about registration. registration always leads to confiscation. A registration always leads to confiscation. 100% of the time. I really can't think of a time in history where registration hasn't led to confiscation, even on a minor or a mass scale. I mean, we see it all the time throughout even modern history. It's not unusual. And I want to point out something very, very recent. Governor Ned Lamont from Connecticut. You know, Illinois' assault weapon ban is not all that different from Connecticut's assault weapon ban. They banned assault weapons after Sandy Hook, and again, air quotes with the assault weapons. They banned assault weapons after Sandy Hook, and there was a grandfather clause. Hoping and praying for grandfathering is a defeatist attitude, and it kicks the can down the road to future generations. It delays your fight and forces your kids to fight for you. So what we're exactly seeing right now is the governor is considering and trying to push the idea of confiscating these firearms that the government promised that people could keep if they registered. Think about that for a second. We already see from things like the universal background checks where if you give an inch, they take a mile. What's different? Okay? These firearms were these firearms were grandfathered in, and now they want to take them away. And registration means they know exactly who has them. So that's something that you really need to think about. That I'm not saying don't register your firearms. I would be negligent as an instructor to advise anyone to break the law, but there's options that we're going to discuss. All right, so also, when it comes to transporting these banned items, there are very limited places that you can transport these banned items. So, of course, you can have that firearm on your property. You can have, or other banned items, accessories, ammunition. You can have that on your property. You can have it on the property of another with their permission. Again, licensed dealers, gunsmiths, firing ranges while hunting. Or to and from any of these activities, to and from any of these locations. We don't know exactly what that registration process is going to look like because it is not spelled out in the law. It's something that the Illinois State Police is going to have to put together through their emergency and their administrative rule-making process. That'll be something that we'll update you on, assuming, again, we don't get an injunction about that. Again, check our website out for that information. Non-compliance is an answer. I'm not advocating anyone break the law, but you have to do what you think is right. I know personally that I would have a very hard time registering my firearms. Another option is removing those firearms from the state. A storage facility or a friend's house in another state might be an option as well. So you have to figure out what you're going to do, but the time to freak out is not yet. You've got a little bit less than a year, just about a year, to figure out what you want to do. Also, firearm restraining order. That was extended. It used to be 6 months. It is now a year. That goes right back to that idea that you can't give anti-freedom advocates an inch. Under the Rauner administration, this was touted as a bipartisan bill, common sense, all that nonsense. Firearm restraining orders are a violation of due process, a violation of someone's civil rights. They have just now extended the period of time that you can have a restraining order against you from 6 months. It is now 1 year. So again, give it an inch, they're going to take a mile. They're going to keep pushing that envelope as far as they can. All right, guys. Don't freak out yet. Now is not the time. Let's keep watching this. Let's support the gun groups that are going to protect us. Let's support them. If they're protecting us, they deserve our support. Again, on our website, I'm going to leave that information as the cases start hitting the dockets. I will be reviewing them and leaving the information on our websites. Other thing. Oh, last thing. Some more exemptions on the banned items and banned people. So again, possession by law enforcement, they're exempt. Armed forces are exempt. Dealers are exempt. Licensed security in the commission of their duties. So licensed security is exempt. Olympic or international competitors and coaches are exempt. Non-residents are exempt. for a period of 24 hours if the firearm is legal at their origination and their destination as they pass through. They've got 24 hours. Bolt actions are exempt. Pump actions are exempt. Lever actions, antique firearms, and there's a legal definition in the law for antique firearms, specifically what they consider to be an antique. Revolvers, demilled firearms, which means firearms that are no longer operational, and muzzle loaders. So all of those things are exempt. Like I said, bolt action, pump action, lever action, revolvers, antiques, demilled, and muzzle loaders are all exempt from this new so-called assault weapons ban. Guys, I want you to leave a comment if you have any questions. That's important because I'm boiling down 111 pages to basically a 20-minute video. And so I understand that there's a lot that I am leaving out. Definitely ask your questions in the video. I will give you the answer. I will even cite and copy and paste the law for you, assuming I have the time. Our last video was incredibly popular. I'm glad that people are taking fighting for their rights seriously. I need you to help support this channel simply by subscribing and hitting the bell. That's the best thing you can do to help support this channel. And then get great information, share the information with your friends, dispel any of the misinformation or disinformation that might be going on out there. So I'm going to leave this video as I do with all videos, but before I do, I'm promised to read all of the banned items line by line for you. I'm going to do that. So as always, everybody, be armed, be trained, and be alpha. Let's get into this pile of manure. Here we go. These following firearms have been banned by name. All AK types, including the AK, AK-47, AK-47S, AK-74, AKM, AKS, ARM, MAC-90, MISR, NHM-90, NHM-91, SA-85, SA-93, Vector Arms AK-47, Vepr, Wasser 10, and WUM. Then we have the Sega AK, the Mata AK-47 and ARM, the Norinco 56S, 56S2, 84S, and 86S. Poly Technologies AK-47 and AKS. SKS with a detachable magazine. All AR types, including the following: the AR-10, the AR-15, the Alexander Arms Overmatch Plus 16, the Armalite M15 22 long rifle carbine, yes, 22 long rifle, Armalite M15-T, Barrett REC-7, Beretta AR-70, Black Rain Ordnance, Recon Scout, Bushmaster ACR, Bushmaster Carbon 15, Bushmaster MOE Series, Bushmaster XM15, Chiappa Firearms M4 rifles, Colt Match Target rifles, Core Rifle Systems Core 15 rifles, Daniel Defense M4A1 rifles, Devil Dog Arms 15 series rifles, Diamondback DB15 rifles, Double Star AR rifles, DPMS tactical rifles, DSA Inc. ZM4 carbine, Heckler & Koch MR556 High Standard HSA 15 rifles, Jesse James Nomad AR-15 rifles, Knights Armament SR-15, Lancer L-15, MGI Hydra Series rifles, Mossberg MMR tactical rifles, Noreen Firearms BN-36 rifle, Olympic Arms, POF USA P415. Precision Firearms AR rifles, Remington R15 rifles, Rhino Arms AR rifles, Rock River Arms LAR-15 or Rock River Arms LAR-47, 6-hour SIG 516 rifles and MCX rifles, Smith & Wesson M&P rifles, Stag Arms AR rifles, Sturm Ruger & Company SR556 and AR556 rifles, Uselton Arms Air Light M4 rifles, Wyndham Weaponry AR rifles, WMD Guns Big Beast, Yankee Hill Machine Company Inc. YHM 15 rifles, Barrett M107A1, Barrett M82A1, Beretta CX4 Storm, Calico Liberty Series CETME Sporter, Daewoo K1, Daewoo K2, Max 1, Max 2, AR-100, and AR-100C. Fabrique Nationale FM Herstal Fall LAR 22 FNC 308 Match L1A1 Sporter PS90 Scar and FS2000. Feather Industries AT9 Galil Model AR and Model ARM. High Point Carbine HK91, HK93, HK94, HK PSG-1 and HK-USC. IWI Tavor Galil Ace. Keltec Sub 2000, SU16 and RFB. SIG AMT, SIG PE57, SIG Sauer SG550, SIG Sauer SG551, and SIG MCS. Springfield Armory SAR 48, Steyr AUG. Sturm Ruger Mini 14 Tactical, M14 20/CF. All Thompson rifles, including the following: the Thompson M1SB, Thompson T1100D, Thompson T150D, Thompson T1B, Thompson T1B100D, Thompson T1B50D, Thompson T1BSB, Thompson T1-C, Thompson T1D, Thompson T1SB, Thompson T5, Thompson T5 100D, Thompson TM1, Thompson TM1C, Umarex Uzi, the Uzi Mini Carbine, Uzi Model A Carbine, and Uzi Model B Carbine, Velma M62S, M71S, and M78, Vector Arms Uzi, Weaver Arms Nighthawk, Wilkinson Arms Linda Carbine, and all of the following pistols, copies, duplicates, variant, altered facsimiles with the capability of any such weapon thereof. All AK types, including the following: Centurion 39 AK pistol, CZ Scorpion pistol, Draco AK-47 pistol, HCR AK-47 pistol, IO Inc. Hellpup AK-47 pistol, Krinkov pistol, Mini Draco AK-47 pistol, PAP M92 pistol, Hugo Krebs Krink pistol. All AR types, including the following: American Spirit AR-15 pistol, Bushmaster Carbon 15 pistol, Chiappa Firearms M4 pistol Gen 2, Core Rifle Systems Core 15 Roscoe pistol, Daniel Defense MK-18 pistol, Double Star Corporation AR pistol, DPMS AR-15 pistol, Jesse James Nomad AR-15 pistol, Olympic Arms AR-15 pistol, Osprey Armory MK-18 pistol, POF USA AR pistol, Rock River Arms LAR-15 pistol, Uselton Arms Air Light M4 pistol, Calico pistols, DSA SA-58 PKP FAL pistol, NCOM M9 and MP45, Heckler & Koch Model SP-89 pistol, Intratech AB-10, Tech 22, Scorpion Tech 9, and Tech 9 DC-9. Tech 9 DC-9. IWI Galil Ace Uzi Pro pistol, Keltec PLR 16 pistol, all MAC types, including MAC 10, MAC 11, Masterpiece Arms MPA A930 mini pistol, MPA 460 pistol, MPA tactical pistol, and MPA mini tactical pistol. Military Armament Corp Ingram M11, Velocity Arms VMAX Sig Sauer P556 pistol, Sights Spectre, all Thompson types, including the following: Thompson TA510D, Thompson TA5. All Uzi types, including Micro Uzi. All of the following shotguns, duplicates, variants, or altered facsimiles with the capability of any such weapon thereof: the Duria Anacon MC1980, Anacon SD12, Doruk lethal shotguns, the Franchi Law 12 and Spaz 12. All Sega 12 types, including the following: the Sega 12, the Sega 12S, the Sega 12S EXP-01, the Sega 12K, the Sega 12K-030, Sega 12K-040 Takita, the Street Sweeper, the Striker 12. Oh, after reading all that, I need a drink.